G'day, all you lovely people of the internet. It's me, Officer Dan, and the fully sick but not hopefully COVID-sick crew from down under with yet another quality how-to. Up on the chopping block for us today are the Gktech Z34 370z and V36 rear subframe slip-in collars. These just add a much-needed stiffness to the OEM bushings without dropping the subframe all the way out and or lighting things on fire to remove them. Here's our iconic black box with our socials on the side so you can keep up with all the goodness. Being brought to you, of course, via Zach's world-renowned shimmy, wiggle, and tug. Now, once you've laid these appealingly out on a table, you'll notice that they are indeed not made of metal. Yes, my astute student, these are made of a proprietary 90 shore polyurethane, giving you the best of both worlds, the stiffness you desire with the comfort you deserve. These all have fun shapes, which I will be going over here shortly, and are designed to fit like Legos into all the gaps in your current subframe bushings. Also, as a bonus, these are completely reversible. So let's get to what's in the kit. Now, we will be letting you know what goes where via technology in the form of a diagram in the top right corner so you don't get confused. And look at that, the technology has arrived. First up are these hoochie hoops, toilet rings, and or minion goggle inserts. They go into the front lower side of the subframe. Next up are the non-aerodynamic horseshoes, the weird C, and the 1/32 scale sandcastle bushings that go on the top rear side. Next up are the clip-on earrings for a sexy elephant, the soft C, the don't call me a programming language bits that go on the top front side of the subframe. And last up you have the bat wings, the child-safe batarangs, the shitty rubber duckies that go on the rear bottom side of the subframe itself. We also include not one but two love letters to you this time. That's right, we want you to know how much we love you and also what's what, where it goes, and more importantly, how much to torque stuff when you slap it all back together. Now that I've wasted more of your time, it's time to waste even more by removing the bracing Nissan saw fit to add to the old Z34 chassis. Let's get that bracing off, shall we? Start by zapping off the 5 middle brace bolts, then head over to the left side and remove the bolts holding it on and remove that brace. Head to the right side and remove those bolts and brace as well. Now head back to the left and remove the remaining brace bolt there. Then repeat for the right side. Now head to the center and remove the last two on each side, holding it all together. Lower that part of the brace down gently. Now cleared a super handy spot to prop the diff up with. Zap off the chassis nuts on both the left and right sides and wiggle that hopefully last brace on out. Now, being alive to do these videos helps, so we recommend a thing called safety. Wind the nuts back on so that the subframe doesn't yeet you into the ground when you loosen all the nuts holding it in. Head to the left front side, remove that brace's bolts and nut, then remove that brace and thread the nut back on, again for safety. Now head to the right side and repeat that process, threading the old safety nut back on. You can now disembark your jack and tell it good job, buddy, but not too far as you only need enough room to slip the bushings in. Pop in the world's most mediocre C, exactly as shown, and head over to the other side and slip in that C note as well, fitting it as shown. And the top is done. Hot damn, look at you go. Go ahead and yak the subframe up as high as it'll go. Once lifted, go ahead and unwind your rear safety nut off whilst grabbing a bat signal insert and inserting them as shown here. Rinse, wash, and repeat for the other side. And now that the bat stiffeners are in, let's toss in brace number 604 back as shown, popping your safety nuts in place and snugging them on down. We will zap and torque soon, don't you worry. Head to the front of the subframe and grab one of the subcentric rings, see what I did there, and install it mushroom tip out. Pop it on in, grabbing brace number 256, including all nuts and bolts to suit said brace. Just get them hand tight for now. Head to the other side and toss that rubber wonder on, as well as brace number 672, including all of its nuts and bolts as well. Man, I really hope you kept these things organized. Now that 12% of the chassis braces are on, let's go in a zap and torque rampage. Tighten the main subframe studs first on all 4 corners to start, which we are starting at the front right as clearly shown by the technology above. Then heading over to the front left nut, then the left rear, then the right rear. Once all snugged up, grab the old trusty torque wrench and get to torquing. All 4 of the main studs will need to be torqued to the specs shown right here on the screen in a crisscross pattern, going back over just for safety in the same X pattern as before. Getting back to the rest of the damn hardware, and starting with the front left, zap them all down, being careful not to snap the dust shield bolt. Then torque the bigger ones down to the specs shown on the screen. Now head over and repeat for the right side, torquing them down to the same foot poundage as before. Now you can lower the entire subframe assembly down and get to getting the bolts back in, starting with the middle ones, leaving those hand tight for now. Get the outers in as well, tighten and torque them all down to the specs shown right here on the screen. Now grab the right side brace, aka brace number 69, and install the hardware to suit. Get the left brace, aka brace number 420, and install with the hardware, and head to the center, installing the last 5 of the bolts that were there. The torque specs for all of these have been labeled via subtitles below. Head to the front and torque those down to the specs shown, as well as repeating for both sides. And by Great Odin's Raven, you're done. Admire your stiffness as you've done so many times in the past. Speaking of stiffness, these dudes are full on. Not even sure what that means, but we all love drifting and making sweet-ass how-to videos for your viewing pleasure. If you can't install these, brace your mechanic for the task at hand and pay him hard-earned money. If not, reach out with any questions you may have via electronic mail. This has been Officer Dan, Johnny Caps, Joshy Josh, and I Love Thursdays Zach with another Gktech how-to. Peace.